guys, I'm Shirley. So recently I'm taking the medical neuroscience course by Professor White from Duke University on Coursera, and I really want to share something with you guys. So I'm going to start with something really simple and easy, like cells in the nervous system. But first we should know something about the nervous system. There are central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system, the CNS, consists of brain and spinal cord. And of course, the peripheral nervous system, the PNS, is part of your nervous system that lies outside your brain and spinal cord. There are two types of cells in your nervous system, the neurons and neuroglia. There is also the vascular endothelium, but I'm not going to talk about it today. Neurons are the primary processors of neural signals, and they are the fundamental unit of function in the CNS. Neuron consists of dendrites, which is the input zone, axon, the conducting zone, and synapses, the output zone. Axon is where the action potential generates. Synapses are the specialized contacts that allow one neuron to transfer signal to another. And there are chemical synapses and electrical synapses. So these synapses transfer signals in different ways, as their name says. And the dendrites. The dendrites are where you receive synaptic contacts, so they have large surface areas. Synapses and dendrites become the gray matter, and axons become the white matter, and they form a kind of butterfly shape in your spinal cord. So like the white matter is the butterfly, and outside it's like a circle, it's the gray matter. There are interneurons and projection neurons. And interneurons, they doesn't project very far, so which means their axons aren't too long compared to projection neurons. They excite or inhibit their neighbors. And projection neurons, as their name says, they have long axons and they send signals over long distances. And they usually have the effect of excitatory on their neighbors. And then neuroglia. Generally speaking, they support the metabolic and signaling functions of neurons, and they form myelin, which causes the axonal insulation. We may talk about it later. And neuroglia contribute to the formation of blood-brain barrier, which we may also talk about later, and they participate in inflammatory response. There are several types of neuroglia, but I'm just going to talk about three very important ones. The first is astrocytes. So astrocytes, they are primarily found in gray matter, where with the synapses and dendrites. So astrocytes are really closely associated with neurons. They help maintain ionic balance of extracellular fluids, and they contribute to the formation of blood-brain barrier. So the blood-brain barrier is a permeable membrane. It's a specialized permeable membrane between the extracellular space in neural tissue and the capillary endothelium. You may simply understand the capillary endothelium, as the inner membrane of your vessels. So this kind of barrier excludes large soluble molecules from diffusing into the CNS, and it prevents some toxic compounds into the brain, which is a very important protective function. But it also excludes some pharmaceutical agents to directly get inside the brain, which causes some difficulties in making some medicine. And the second type is the oligodendrocyte. It's a specialist which form the myelin. They are found in white matter where the axons are, and myelin segments form gaps between them, and the gaps are called nodes of Ranvier. These gaps, which are on the axons, they can accelerate the speed of signal transferring because the myelin insulate the neurons, and the signals can only jump between the gaps, which shorten the travel distance. And this is called the saltatory conduction. By the way, oligodendrocytes are in the CNS, and Schwann cells you may have heard of, they're in the PNS, and they have the same kind of function with oligodendrocytes. A disease you may also heard of, called multiple sclerosis, is caused by the breakdown of myelin in the CNS. Specifically, there is immunological attack in the CNS, which destroys the myelin, and there is a loss of efficiency of the conduction of neural signals along axons. And the third type is the microglia cell. So microglia cell engulfs cellular debris that is found at the site of injury in the nervous system. They secrete signaling molecules that modulate inflammatory responses. And I guess that's all for today. And in this video, I hope you learned something about the nervous system, neurons, and also neuroglia cells.